Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Hope you're all well, hope you're all doing good, guys. It's Tuesday, so that means we're on the Star Wars X-Wing recap issue 29 today, guys. Now this is going to be a long stretched issue of a recap, guys, but I'm going to try and put everything into the video to tell you exactly where and what I did without obviously being able to take it apart, because they are hidden away in the build at this present time. But like past issues, guys, I will try my best to explain what I did when it was being built. And remember, guys, if you're not already subscribed, smash that subscribe button for us, press the bell notification not to miss out on any future videos of this X-Wing and other content on the channel. And please give it a big like, guys. It just helps the channel grow, that's all. Gets the algorithm going, grows the channel, so I can hopefully bring you then more content in the coming months, weeks and months and years. If I'm still on here in years to come, hopefully I will be. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's crack on. Guys, so we'll start off with the usual routine, looking through this mag. This is Star Wars Build Your Own X-Wing issue 29. Yeah, you've got the usual cool content of Star Wars, and here it says coming next week: The Force Awakens battle action scenes, Han Solo, Scrum Rat and Imperial pilot, lower port wing, plus external details for the engine and wing route. But as you can see here, guys, this was given to me at the time of doing this build in this issue, because basically there has been a lot of small errors in issue 16 and 29. Please use this information below to correct it. So yeah, Deagnostini sent this through to me on this build I was doing in this issue to recorrect this, which I'll show you further down in this recap. So if I put that to one side, let's take a look through this mag. Keeping it real, building practical T70s. Look at all these little models, guys. It's cool. And you've got some shots here of how they did the actual moulds of these X-Wings, etc. The T70s. Unbelievable. And then we go straight in to the instructions. We're recapping over the low port engine, what it was like to fit the pipework on the lower port engine. Let's have another look through here. There was a lot of instructions in this issue, guys. I remember this, and it was very fiddly. As you can see, all these little parts which was put on the lower port engine. This was a fiddly issue, and I'm glad I'm recapping it and not rebuilding it, guys. But this is why I won't be able to actually rebuild this like I'm doing with Dom's Charger. Check that out on the playlist, guys, if you want to take a look at that. The debuild of Dom's Charger. I wouldn't be able to take all this apart and rebuild it. If I could, I would have. But all these parts, these little parts, a lot of them was glued in because they kept falling out, so I glued them in. I wouldn't be able to take them apart. So yeah, all this has got to be gone through in a minute. Then you've got fitting the engine, which obviously is already done, but I'll show you what it was like to fit it, what I had to do to fit it. As you can see here, guys, there's a lot of stuff to get through in this mag. So without me gabbling on anymore, let me just get to the beginning of the instructions and I'll get the model down. Further ado, we'll crack on with what parts was needed in this issue and how they were put together. So we'll start off with the lower port engine. Now, as you can see, you've got the power input unit upper half, and then you've got the power input unit lower half. And the screws was needed was XW01 screws, 2 of those, and then you got the pipework details, 16 pieces there, guys. If you can just check that out. So that was all the low port engine. And then what happened then, we had to go to fitting it all together. So this is fitting the pipework. So what I'll do is I'll just go through the instructions of fitting this lower port engine together, and then I'll try and show the best I can with it on the model at this present time. So right, what it said do is join the two halves of the cylindrical power input unit together, then add all external pipes. All parts are simply push fitted into place. As I said at the beginning of the video, guys, a lot of it was just push into place, but some tended to keep falling out, so I put a dab bit of glue on it, and that's why I wouldn't be able to take this model apart. It would have been an absolute nightmare. I wish I could have, and then I could have rebuilt it for you. That would have been really cool, but it just would have been real hard work, and there would have been a lot of parts I wouldn't be able to take apart, if that makes sense. So instruction 1, what we had to do is take the two halves of the power unit. Instruction 2 is basically click them together. You got two little raised pieces of plastic here. What just went into 3 holes, as you can see. Press firmly together. That was all first 3 instructions done. And then 4, 5 and 6, take the short thick pipe and align the D-shaped lug, which is there. And what you do with the little, it says take the short thick pipe and align the D-shaped lug on the end with the matching hole on the upper half of the power input unit, which is there. So basically just push that into that D-shape, making sure it's the right way around. Instruction 5, press the pipe all the way in, which is just what I've just said in instruction 4. That would have been done, that piece would have been in. And instruction 6, the 2 manifolds are mirror images of each other. Take this one, so that would have been instruction 6. Let's just turn the page over. And fit the end into the hole in the pipe from step 5. So like so. So that little part you've just put in there, that pipe, one part would fit in the hole there, and then it comes down here, instruction 8, and then fits into the other part of that item, of that piece there. As it says, fit the 2 pins in the other end of the manifold into the holes in the upper half of the power input unit, and that's what you would have had by instruction 8. Now instruction 9 and 10, repeat steps 6 and 8, 6 to 8, so all the last 3 instructions I've just said to you, the 3 steps, you're repeating that on the other side of the unit. And then by instruction 10, step 10, that's what you would have. That's how it would look. Now instruction 11, take the rectangular plates with 3 lugs on the back, which is those there, and align it with these 3 holes in the lower half of the power input unit. So you've got these 3 holes here, you're basically just pushing that onto there, and that would be the outcome. Instruction 12, mirror step, so basically they're reading through that, guys, you're doing the same on the other side of the input unit, like so. And instruction 13, that is the result you had so far. So you put those 2 plates on there. Now straight over to instruction. Guys, I'm calling them instructions, because they are really, but these are calling it steps. Tomato, tomato. But I'm just calling them instructions. I've always called them instructions. Just if you wonder why I'm not calling them steps. Instruction 14, take the 4 short pipes that curve this way. Now when you got to this, guys, you have to make sure you got these parts exactly right, how it says in this instruction, because if not, you're going to cause yourself a lot of hassle. So basically what I did, and I've said this before, get the parts, place them by them on the picture, and exactly the way they look on there. And then when you've done that, instruction 15, fit the curved end into the rectangular plate from step 11. So you go straight back to step 11, those little plates you'd put on, that's where these parts are going now, basically, in these 4 holes. So 15 to 18 instructions, as you can see, it's just a matter of pushing the pieces into the 4 holes, as it says. Repeat for the second pipe, then third, fourth, fifth, and so on. And that would be the result of putting those pipes in. Instruction 19 and 20, the pipe work should look like this. Now, that looks simple. That was very fiddly, guys, getting your fingers and thumbs to put those 4 pieces of pipe into this pipe you'd put on the top of the unit earlier in issue. So you had to do that on the left side, and then you had to do in instruction 20 on the right side. So you basically repeated yourself. And if I remember right, that's the parts which I glued because they kept dropping out. I didn't want them to fall out when it was all attached to the wing. Yeah, we'll keep on cracking on. And once I've got to the, let me just double check, guys, before I go any more further. Yeah, I think we'll crack on. Just going through it, and then I'll try and show you on the model. I mean, I can briefly show you if you want me to. There you go. That's what we're looking at the minute. There it is. There's the parts. The pipes. Yeah, I did glue them in because you can see the bits of glue because they kept pinging off because of how tight those fit. But if you can see, if I get that close enough, that's what we was just talking about. The way it was connected into the unit, and then underneath, that's where they're connected to the rest of the pipes. But that's all I can show you really, because it's got all the casing on here now. But that's what we're talking about anyway, guys. And it was a shame, and you knew it was coming. And I'm hoping if I do another wing as a fresh build in the future, you will see me doing that again. Which I'll take with a deep breath, because that's gonna, I've got to do it all again. But hey, it's all part of it. Right, instruction 21. Take this flattened D-shaped pipe and fit the pins on the ends into the holes of the upper half of the power unit. So yeah, another little piece of a pipe, just like that basically, but smaller. Push them into the holes. That was 21 done. Instruction 22. Press and part firmly into place so it's flush. It'll look like that. Instruction 23. This piece of pipe where it fits into the hole shown by the arrows. So yeah, guys, you just follow the arrows where they're pointing to and put this piece of pipe into those holes there. Instruction 24. Press the part firmly into place. Yes, so 23, 24 is the same. 25 and 26 are going to be the same. It's just basically telling you to put this pipe this pipe with a cranked end. Yeah, so in other words, a skewiffed end basically. It's not straight. Put it where the arrows are showing you, and that's what the result of that would be. Now to look at that, you'd think, well, that don't look very good fit, but that's how it's meant to look, guys. It is meant to look a bit bent down. It's the way they want it to look. And that is how the power unit looks, which I've just showed you in the model. Well, this is the part we've just seen in the model. And what I was going to say, just it's a shame really when you're building it, because you know you're never going to see it. And when this model is fully built and it's all put together, you will never see that unless you really look under the wings and have a look. But it's a shame you're never going to see it after all the hard work you do to fit it all together, and it's hidden away. But it's one of those. But that's the power unit assembly done so far. Then instruction 27, take these parts which were provided with the previous stage. So these are plastic, if I remember right. 28, align the D-shaped lug, which you can see there, that's a D shape. And that's a circle, but a D shape at the bottom, so it'll only go in one way. Push that into there, guys, and that's the result you'll get. 29 and 30, take these two details. So basically these details you've just put together, you just you're pushing those onto this part here. Fit the other detail on the opposite side of the bulkhead, so this end looks like this. So you've got 4 of these plastic pieces, which 2 for each side. Push the D-shaped piece into the hole. Do that twice. You'll have 2 of these, and then you put one on the left and the right of the bulkhead. And that's so far up to instruction 30. I said it was a long one, didn't I? Instruction 31, align the large D-shaped hole in the bulkhead with the matching lug on the end of the power unit. So yeah, this bulkhead, what you've just put these little parts on, that's a D shape there again, and it'll only go on one way. You basically just push it firmly on, and that's how that would have looked like that. Right, and then this is where, if I remember right now, give us the wrong parts. These parts we got in instruction 33. Now if you look, there wasn't too different. You wouldn't really tell by just quickly briefly looking at the pictures. but there was an error. So what they did is they sent them out again and showed you the instructions how to do it properly, basically. I'm just reading over this now because I can't remember what the problem was, to be fair. I think the instructions just wasn't telling the right information with what parts to go where. But that's what this was for, guys. They looked after us and they rectified the situation. So yeah, instruction 33, identify the 8 pieces of pipework using this guide. Again, what I said in the further back in the video, and I've said it in different videos to this now, get your parts, guys, if you're doing this build. Put them by the pictures and your instruction, place them out exactly like that. You can't go wrong, and then just take a part at a time when it asks you to put it onto the other part. So yeah, instruction 34, fit the straight end of the pipe A. So you would just take A and just put it where it's telling you, basically. So it go in the bulkhead there. You see that little hole on the bulkhead, push it in there. And instruction 35, it's telling you to put it on the unit just there. And instruction 36, fit pipes B, C and D in a similar way using the guide. So yeah, story short, guys, 36, 37, 38 and 39 was all about basically putting these pipes into the right holes. That's the bottom line. So you just look at the letters, which we've done that A in 35. So then you get to B, so you get number B. So you get letter B and put it exactly where it wants to be put. C, get C, and so on. And then that would have been the result at the end of instruction 39. Let me just get the part again. And I can try and, if you can see there, the pipes, it's all under there. That's where it all goes, guys, inside this casing. You can see some more pipes there. But all that detail you've just seen in that instruction, it's all under this. As I said, it's a shame. I mean, I can't take that off, see. If I could, I would. If I take that off, it's going to damage it, I think. No, don't come off. No, I don't want to take that off, sorry. I do not want to damage it. But that's everything you've done so far. But even from just looking at that little 2 centimetre, there's some more pipes there, look. You can see the detail's pretty cool, and it does look pretty cool, even though you're not going to see it ever again. It's just a shame. So I'm just going to place that down the side there. Right, and then we went to fitting the engine. So it says, fit the rear section of the fuselage thrust engine to the engine mount and run the wiring for its lighting effect underneath the wing. So instruction 1 and 2, it was basically saying get the engine, the thrust engine, and put the wires through that little square circle, I'm talking all that out. It's got that square circle, there's such thing as that. You know what I mean, guys, through the square hole. So you push that wire through there. Guys, it's been a long, long week this week. Christmas is coming, it's been really busy. Right, we're nearly there. Keep it together, keep it together. So we're on instruction 3. Feed the lead through the hole and line up the engine's mounting hole and locating pin with the matching holes in the mount. So if I take the model and show you this again. This is what we're looking at the minute. So that's what was attaching in these instructions, and the wiring would end up coming out like so. So yeah, 3 and 4 was about putting the wiring flush through that square hole. Nearly said circle again then. Instruction 4, press the engine into place and hold it. And then whilst you hold it, when you've done that, instruction 5, while you turn the assembly over, you basically have to screw that engine into the mount, which is instruction 6. Drive an XW02 screw into this hole to fasten the engine into place. I keep coming back to the side of the desk here, but there, you can just see the mount. That's the engine mount in there, guys. I'm just trying not to make this video unfocus. So there's the mount. There you got the engine, and that's what it's attached to. That's what you put the XW02 screws to attach the engine to the wing. Instruction 6, we've done that one. Then we go to instruction 7. Feed the wire from the engine around this pin. Again, guys, I can't really show you that because it's covered up by a case. So what I'll do, if I zoom in, quickly pull that over. So yeah, it was all about feeding the wire around these little pins here. And the same with instruction 8. Making sure you fed the wire around these little pins, around the perimeter of the wing, like so. I'll keep the camera zoomed in here, and then we'll go to instruction 9 and 10. That is how the wiring would look after you've gone around the perimeter of the wing. It says run the wire parallel with one from the laser cannon, taking it through the other gap, and then basically you've got the laser cannon and the engine, which is on the previous page, and that's how it would look. So you've got the 2 wires fed through the perimeter of the wing to come out the side of the wing like so. And when you'd run it round the perimeter of the wing, that's what we've just been looking at, how the engine's attached to the mount, and it went around the perimeter of the wing. So you've got the laser cannon wire and the engine wire, which at this stage the laser cannon wasn't fitted, but the wire was. It was all around the perimeter ready to fit the laser cannon, I think, in the next coming issues. And that's how it looked, guys, nice and flush. Obviously this is not connected in this stage, 29 at the minute, but that's how basically it would look where you was at this present time. So when you've done the wiring, you went to instruction 10, and what we had to do is take the power input unit completed on page 13, which we've just looked at, and this was basically putting it into the wing, which I've just showed you, like so. So this is where you're putting it in, and that's the result, and that's further down the line when you put this casing on, but that is it, all in there. That's where you put it together. And instruction 11, so you can press it into the pins in the engine mount. So yeah, it was basically 10, 11, telling you to align it up and basically push it in, guys, and then use XW01 screws to secure it into place. And I think we've got through this stage, this issue 29. Yeah, I told you it was a long one, didn't I, guys? But what I can do now, if you just ignore the laser cannon because that wasn't on at this present time, that would have been the result for issue 29. So we'd put the engine on, the thruster, so the engine and the thruster had been put on, and all the pipe work and the wiring around the perimeter, and that was it for issue 29. That is it for this week's Star Wars X-Wing recap build, guys. It was issue 29. I'll keep looking, guys, because this was a busy recap issue, as I said at the beginning of the video, but it was pretty interesting. What we looked over today was the lower port engine, fitting all the pipe work, and at the minute I'm reading out for this because we've done that much tonight and recap that much. I forgot, and I don't want to mention the wrong thing basically. So yeah, we did the lower port engine, fitting the pipe work, as I said, which is pretty cool. And then what we did then, sorry, looking away at the camera here, sorry guys. Then after we'd done all that and put the pipes on and put the bulkhead on the back of the engine, then what we had to do is fit the engine to the wing. So yeah, basically we had to put all the pipe work on the lower port engine, and then we had to put, I don't want to get the name of it, the Fusible thrust engine, attach that to the wing, did a bit of wiring for the laser cannon and the Fusible thrust engine wiring, if I'm right. Is that right? Yeah, I think I am. Sorry guys, my brain's mashed this week. Let me double check, I don't want to read you the wrong things. Yeah, the Fusel thrust engine wire, easy for me to say. We had to wire that around the perimeter of the wing, plumb all that in basically, attach that Fusel thrust engine to the wing with 2 screws, basically 1 or 2 screws. So it was a busy week, guys, putting all the pipe work on, recapping, putting the pipe work on, which I won't want to do again, but I might have to do it in future issues if that's the parts I've got to bring to you for the fresh builds in the future. But guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a subscribe, press that bell notification not to miss out on any future content to do with the X-Wing, any other content on my channel. Yeah, subscribe, bell notification, and please give it a big like, big thumbs up. Comment down below, guys, I'd love to hear from you, and feel free to share the video to whoever you want to share it with. Guys, if you want to see more of this, come back next week, take a look through my playlist if you're new to the channel, see if there's anything on here what you'd like to watch, and like I said, if so, subscribe and like, guys. See ya, peace.